Speaking of Pa Smith, I'll never forget the time when he was killed by a moccasin down at the Sand Lake. Now, Pa Smith had been complaining about having rheumatism and problem getting around for a while, and he really complained about it a lot. So one morning on a Saturday, he said, "Kenny, let's go down fishing. And I got a lot of work that needs to be done, but I'm going fishing." Pa Smith always took some of the joy out of trips by musing about how much work he had to do. But Pa Smith and I decided we would get up some bait, so we knocked down some wasps and roasted them singed them over a fire. That was to toughen the wasp larvae when you were fishing with them. And we had a few tomato worms that he got out of the garden and dug a little bit of bait. So we went on, and we were glad we had the wasp nest because the white bait, and we decided we'd go to the Sand Lake because they like those little white things, the little brim that were in there. And we used to fish in the Sand Lake a lot, but loggers have just about ruined it, or they did ruin it. You can't hardly tell where it is anymore. But loggers have ruined a lot of things in our woods that were there when I was a kid. But automated logging is another subject and another day's discussion. But anyway, we got there and we fished a little while. We caught a few little brims. They had dollar perch in there, we called them. They were really, the real name of them is flyers. But they never get very big, but they're kind of fun to catch. And you'll catch a chain pickerel once in a while. We call them pike, the small ones of them. But anyhow, I decided I would go down below him at a place and sit and fish. So we got there and we fished for a while, and then all at once I looked out and there was a big cottonmouth moccasin swimming right up the middle of the Sand Lake. It being an old dead run of the creek, it kind of was the shape of the creek there. So he was coming right up. And Pa Smith, he got a little bit over toward Pa Smith's side, so Pa took his fishing pole and whopped him one real good. But instead of the moccasin running and being scared, he started toward him. It made him mad. He was going to get him, and Pa Smith's rheumatism got miraculously healed then, because he got up that bank in record time, and it was pretty steep. So that snake ran him out of there, and he came up on the bank after him. So those things are pretty nasty. But that's just one incident. Again. A couple of days ago I saw a news carrier, or a news toter, as Grandpa Smith used to say, Pa Lander Smith. And he came up and buzzing around me. Back when I was little, I used to be afraid of those things because I thought they were a bee. And they would make awful noise. Buzz around your head and everything. But I found out that they call them drones instead of bees. And then later, Pa Smith told me they were news carriers. They call them news carriers, and he said you were going to hear some news if they came around you like that. And usually it was bad news. But anyway, I hadn't thought of that for a good while till I saw him a couple of days ago. That's an interesting thing that used to happen back in my earlier days.